How are we, GameLeapers? Coach G's back at it, and in this video I'm going to go through the 5 biggest mistakes low elo players make and how you can go about fixing them. Now, I've coached hundreds of summoners and there are so many similarities with not just the way they play, but how they think as well. And I'm talking anywhere from Challenger all the way down to Bronze, so the next 10 minutes will be invaluable to each and every one of you. Mouse sensitivity, mechanics, thinking your teammates have arms, these are just a few topics I'll be addressing. Now, let me say right off the bat that I apologize for yesterday's video because it upset a lot of you. All of your feedback in the comments, even though I got roasted, was definitely well-founded, and I felt like Nate Robinson after that Jake Paul fight. KO'd. Unlike Nate though, I'm going to get back up and rise from the canvas and bring you the red hot content you have all subscribed for and hopefully resubscribe for. Now, Santa may not be coming down your chimney again, guys, but good news, you can still buy our lifetime memberships at GameLeap.com for $50 cheaper. If you want access to high elo VOD analyses, champion guides, champion courses, micro, macro, everything under the sun, then join thousands of others and get signed up. Links in the description and comments section. Alright, let's get into the 5 worst mistakes low elo players make. So the first one is thinking your teammates exist. Now, every student I have ever coached places so much emphasis on their teammates. Oh, my mid laner died to a level 2 gank again, or why does my support keep inting, or say we're analyzing how they played a fight, they won't even be focusing on themselves. But look at how my team played this fight, how retarded are they? And my response is, yeah, of course, like why are you expecting so much? If you're playing in gold elo and expect, I don't know, Bob the T-Rex 69 or Beg to play like Faker, hate to burst your bubble, but guess what? He won't. You know why? Because he isn't Challenger. He doesn't have 3 world championships. What he does have is terrible mechanics, not even a shredder macro, and the mental capacity of a spoon. Now, there's no good in me saying all this without a punchline, right? And the punchline is this: thinking you have teammates is an excuse. It's a way of passing the blame from your shoulders onto someone else's. Now, the first and most important step to take, and it is the hardest as well, is acknowledging you're not the finished product. That you're in gold for a reason, because you're gold. You're in silver for a reason, because you're silver. Even if I was to say you're in Grandmaster for a reason, because you're Grandmaster, all of a sudden your perspective changes. Your focus is no longer on those around you because you realize you are as bad or as good as they are. This will also lead you into playing selfishly, and I always tell my students, selfish league is good league. If you sort yourself out first and hit your power spike, it's better for the team. On the other hand, if you worry about everyone else and what they're doing, and this will happen if you think your teammates exist, you sacrifice your own progress in a game. Let's think of an example. So many players in low elo think the first dragon is the be-all and end-all of league. Now guys, if you think like this, you are a real beta. Okay, so listen up. Now if you're sitting on a major item, let's say you have gold for Illusion's Tempest and you decide to overstay and help your teammate to dragon, you stall your point of power. Why not ping you can buy Ludens before your teammates start the dragon? Then they know you're going to back, and all of a sudden they do it 20 seconds later when you spend all that gold and you clean house. Now, what made the difference between these two circumstances? Whether you think your teammates exist or not. Yes. Now, moving on, GameLeapers, and a quick reminder to like the video if you're enjoying it so far. The next tip is tunnel visioning mechanics. Now, when I say tunnel visioning, what do I mean? I'm talking about pressing your forehead against your monitor so you only see 1 pixel. Now, this is relevant to all of you because in order to master the micro side of league, in other words your mechanics, you have to be able to look at the whole screen and compute all the information that's on it to make better decisions. Let me give you an example. If a player is about to last hit, they are so focused on that minion's health bar they forget about the other influences in the lane. The enemy champion, the enemy jungler, their jungler, the teamfighter dragon, and this will cost them. And you, because I know everyone does this, you're not getting away that easy. So most of the time, if not always, this will cost you health because you will get hit by abilities outside of your scope of vision, if you like. What you're using is an iron sight. You need an upgrade. You need one of those big, 15 times scopes you get from crates in PUBG. That's what you need. Now, the best players in the world, those in Challenger, use this 15x. They can do more than one thing at once, and it is the ultimate test of micro. Can you CS? Can you position? Can you space? Can you trade all at the same time? Now, one amazing drill that will help you out a ton, and I do this with my students all the time, is this. For the entire laning phase, do not even look at your champion. Now, I'm being serious, by the way, because you can still control your character with your peripheral vision, and it works. It forces you to take into account the other factors in your lane because it's never just you on your own. The reason this is so beneficial to all of you is because League is never just about being good at one thing, right? The game is so multifaceted, multi-dimensional, multi-everything. So by doing this, you train the rest of your attributes. Think of yourself like a FIFA player. They have shooting, passing, heading, pace, and all of that, right? Now in League, there's CSing, positioning, map awareness, vision, and heaps more. So by looking at what's in front of you in the bigger picture, you essentially train yourself and improve these attributes. Now guys, this one I'm quite passionate about, and I'll be honest, it does my head in as much as I did yours in the last video. Stop playing with yourselves in base. And what I mean is that players from Master to Iron 4 take way too long than they need to buy items and regenerate health and mana. When a player in these ELOs hits the base, they then think, oh yeah, I've got gold to spend. And they go through the shop like a chick going through Gucci. Know what you want to buy as you're recalling. Now one thing you can do to fix this straight away without getting in game is setting up item sets. Yes, it might be boring, but if you care enough about improving and winning, get your heads onto it. This helps so much because as you're about to recall, you can pull up your item set and plan your next life. You know your next item is item X, and item X costs X amount of gold. Now this makes you play more efficiently, and this is everything guys. Like legit, imagine this. If you waste, let's say, I don't know, 10 seconds each base, and you base 10 times during a game, you waste 100 seconds a game. You could have used this time saving a teammate or getting another kill, and I guarantee this will be the reason why your blue buff is in there, or your mid laner dies before you can save them, or you don't get back to lane to get the cannon wave. On average for my sessions, I'd say summoners spend around 7 to 8 seconds too long in base, so in your games, go back and watch them and count how long you spend in base on each back. You will be amazed. Alright guys, this next tip is going to increase your LP gains as well. Now let me ask you, are you Faker? Are you Uzi? Are you Tyler 1? Now some of you think you are, and not perhaps in terms of personality, but in terms of actually playing the game, and I'm really referring to your mouse sensitivity, which is one of the building blocks to great micro, and people don't talk about this enough. If Faker plays on 3000 DPI, and it works for him, does that mean it works for you? No, of course not, right? Because everyone's different. Now the reason I ask this is because I've had students who justify their ridiculously high mouse speed by saying something like, but Uzi plays on it, or but Faker plays on it, as we're not even looking at the fight they're in on screen. You know, they'll be looking at old mate in the shop instead. Now from my experience playing many a game at the top level, sorry I had to throw that one in there, the lower the sensitivity the better. In fact, do this right now. Decrease your mouse speed by 10 and play a game. Did you hit or miss more skill shots? Did you last hit better or worse? Did you feel more in control or less? Now whether you're diamond or bronze, challenger or gold, you cannot play your best playing on a mouse speed that is too quick for you because you think you have the same genetics and makeup as Faker. And I'm not talking about Mascara or anything, I'm talking about his DNA, right? And what about all the other pro players, right? Like they use a completely different mouse speed. Surely they would just copy Faker too, right? Lower those speeds, guys, and more importantly, be yourself when choosing them. Okay, GameLeapers, before we reveal the final tip for this video, I cannot emphasize enough that we have a $50 sale on our lifetime memberships at GameLeap.com. The courses, the guides, the videos, all made by challengers and all made for you. They are the best in the business, so get clicking in just a few seconds time. Now this tip relates back to the point I was making about Selfish League being good league. Stop roaming before pushing. Players do some pretty whack things, and this is up there. For some reason, low elo players just hate minions. I don't know what it is. Like going to place a ward at Krugs and giving up half a minion wave is not worth. Do you know how much gold minion waves are worth? Now a standard minion wave, okay, is worth around 110 gold and a cannon wave around 170. So if you give up half a wave, that's an assist in some cases. If you give up a standard wave and then a cannon wave diving, I don't know, like a 0.5 on top, you could have got more gold staying mid. So the fix to all this is to sort your lane out first before roaming. Even if it's to ward, if you give up a CS for it, it's not worth. Most of the time, sorting your lane out will be shoving or hard pushing, and sometimes it might be to freeze the lane so you can then go and ward because it's too hard to shove. Guys, the amount of time laners I've coached run out of lane and miss valuable golden experience is nuts. And I don't know what the fascination is, but I know there isn't enough of one fascination with the CS. When you don't give up any minions for making a play elsewhere, you minimize costs because you don't miss golden experience. You're giving nothing up. Now, if you commit this mistake once, it might or might not matter, but if you keep doing it, especially multiple times in a game, you are going to lose your lane just off this. Regardless of how good your mechanics are, it's never about just kills, which has been a bit of a theme in this video, right? There's more to League than what it says in the kills and deaths columns. Like if there aren't any kills going around, how do you win lane of the game? Minimizing costs and maximizing efficiency is behind the optimal play in any situation. Sorry for making this sound like an economics class, by the way. I hated that subject at uni as well. Next thing you'll know, I'll be talking about supply and demand. Now guys, rectify these mistakes in your games and apply the quick fixes. I assure you, you will improve and win more games. This has been Coach Cheese. Thanks so much for watching. Peace.